What's up, y'all? It's KingBritneyChanel, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Kay's ex-girlfriend. I'm going to nickname her KJ, or abbreviate her name today as KJ. And before we get started, definitely make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the video, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And I hope y'all enjoyed today's commentary. Right, y'all, so let's get into today's honey for the tea. For those of you that are new, honey is Yahweh's promises and his truth. And you know, we want to make bitter tea or life situations that are bitter tea into, you know, positivity and good things. So we want to bring good news as usual, and we want to, you know, always put Yahweh's word and messages in everyday situations that we talk about on this channel. Now, y'all know Kay has an ex, and her name, like I said, I'm gonna nickname her K and J. And for those of you that are new to the channel, a lot of you, some of y'all just ask me and y'all don't assume that I'm just, you know, mispronouncing or, you know, not giving the correct names to these people. I'm doing it purposely, abbreviating their names or paraphrasing and using certain abbreviations if you have not caught on yet. You know, and like I always say, don't be one of those geniuses who try to point that out and then be in the comment section looking crazy when my supporters and subscribers look at you sideways, because they know if you are new, a lot of new people, they just ask instead of just assuming. But we're not going to turn this into like a intellectual snobby match, because we don't want to do that. All right, but anywho, y'all, she done poured us some tea on this whole K situation. Honey, this K situation by the day just gets wilder, crazier. And honestly, a part of me just wishes like, don't none of y'all say nothing else until his try situations happen. And, you know, we could get a break from some of this foolishness that be going on. But no, honey, they just want to keep talking about Kay and keep spilling and pouring tea. So we here, darling. And I am on page 6, and this was posted by Lee Brown. And basically it says that Kay relived his own. I would say, y'all remember that Kay's brother Kerry talked about the man in the neighborhood who messed with Kay. Well, remember the claims about the man in the neighborhood who messed with Kay? So basically what KJ is saying as his ex-girlfriend is that he would have her, I guess, recreate certain acts that resembled the man from the neighborhood messing with Kay as a youth, okay? So that's the best way that I could say that, okay? So she sat down and she spoke with Dr. Oz, okay? And it just, whoo, Lords, when I heard, you know, the things that she was saying on the clip, and when I read the article, I was like, OMG, honey, these people in these receipts and this tea they keep on spilling is getting, you know, bizarre. And it says that Kay would relive the ways that he was messed with as a youth by subjecting his ex-girlfriend to recreate, you know, similar games, you know, while I would say while it was going down in that way, okay? While certain acts was happening, he would, I guess, have her recreating that trauma. Now, a lot of people do not believe that people who go through that sort of thing, some of them go on to, you know, relive and rehash that situation. But if you think about this from a logical perspective, you know, to me, looking at him, he seems like he's a youth that never grew up from the looks of it. Like, he may, like, a part of him may be still that little youth that happened to, and it's like he's relating to younger women who would have been that age at that time of that happening, or trying to relate to that part of himself that never grew up, because he didn't get help for this issue that he had, y'all. I mean, and when she was describing, and I just was like, wow. Like, she said, like, when I was watching the clip, just to paraphrase what she was saying, almost like she said it made her sick at the thought that, I guess because he shared his vulnerability in that moment of what had happened to him with her, and she said that she could kind of tell that that's where that came from, and that part kind of made her ill. You know what I mean? So it says she claims this in a new interview that I guess that aired Thursday, because this was the 6th, so I guess aired Thursday. What's today? Today is the 10th, so it aired. Okay, so basically it says that KJ told Dr. Oz that she was, I would say, put the pause on and starved until she passed out during her 2-year relationship with K. They call him a fallen R&B star who was so controlling she even had to ask permission to use I would say the facilities, utilities, whatever you want to call them. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. But that's nothing new. And that's why I'm saying, like, a lot of these folks that be doing a lot of these interviews, it's starting to get repetitive. And it's like, okay, we've heard this story time and time again. Now, the part about him recreating what happened to him, that's a new development. But it's like, it's getting repetitive over and over, hearing the same thing, like, he put the pause on, or I had to ask for permission, and it's getting repetitive. And it's like, if in fact you're not offering or bringing nothing new to the table, do we still need to keep hearing from you? Because it's like, I'm a person that I don't believe that you put the pause on somebody while they down. You feel what I'm saying? He's already jammed up in a situation. It's already being brought forth, like, paperwork, already been put through for certain stuff. And it's like, now we sit, we wait, we let due process happen. But it's just looking at this point, the repetitiveness of the same story over and over. It's just, to me, seeming like, okay, it's a play for, it could be celebrity, because it's like, what new, I can see if this was new information that we didn't know, but it's the same story that has been told over and over and over and over and over. And not to say or to discount that, people would want to tell their story, but it's like, okay, what else are we getting? What new information are we getting? And it's honestly like, people are just now rehashing this story to get airtime on a situation that is being handled already. It's like, a person could be responsible for a lot of stuff, but I'm just not a person that believes in that whole bandwagon and just everybody just pile up on the one person while, they're down type of situation. And it's just like, a lot of these people, you could tell that it's probably like they're using their trauma thing for 15 minutes of fame and all kind of stuff. Because it's like, why are we rehashing the same story? Oh, this happened to me and the rest of that. You just was on a series telling this whole situation. So it's like, what more do you have to offer with this? Like, are we going to keep on, rehashing this? Or are we going to let now justice take place? And then I can see after justice take place, if there's any comments or whatever. But it's just like, they already are going to have a time trying to figure out who they're going to give those questionnaires and surveys to. Because remember, I think they said what was it, 500. They gotta find people that are gonna be able to be I think jurors and stuff like that. And it's just this constant, oh, I need to be in the press or in the news to tell the same story that you already told in the series. It's just getting so passe. It's like, okay, we heard you the first time because a lot of people seen that series that L Time put out. And I mean, the only part, like I said, it was a new development with this that she's talking about is the part where he recreated certain stuff that could have been trauma to, for him as a youth. They go on to say that the singer confided in her that he had been, I would say, messed with by a man in the neighborhood, and that's what she told in a interview. So it says later in a relationship, and this is a quote, there were things that he would ask me to do to him, and I'm not going to say what those things are, and she says that she connected that, those things that he would ask her to do to maybe that neighborhood man doing what he did. You feel what I'm saying? And looking clearly uncomfortable at the memory. That's what she said, and she said she felt uncomfortable by that. And then the other quote says, and that's when I would really feel ill doing what she did to him because I knew where it was coming from. It was some pretty, I'm going to say off things. I'm going to paraphrase that. She said in clips shared with the post. So KJ, who is a DJ, said that when the pause was put on her, it felt like it lasted forever. And she says I was being starved excessively. And she said the longest that she had gone was almost 3 days. And she said she almost passed out. And she said life was so, basically, she couldn't do what she wanted to do. She wasn't, she felt like she didn't have her free will to do what she wanted to do. And she had to, talked about how she had to ask a runner to do certain stuff and to get certain permission to do certain stuff. And she suggested that it was impossible to speak out because no one would believe her in the the era that was, previous to this. Because, I believe that part of it because a lot of people felt like he was a hero to them. He was this R&B sensation, and people still do, no matter how much, proof is provided, paperwork, facts is provided, it's all to them in their mind going to be a setup, and everybody is just a gold digging groupie that's lying on him or whatever. Now, I do believe that, some of these people, things happen to some of these people, and I believe that some of these people are looking at this like a meal ticket to success and to be famous from this situation. And if you use, logic and common sense, if he is BLK listed, right? Anybody in association with this dude, because they're, taking him down, I don't see those people messing with anybody to get anybody that is a part of this to the next level after this. I think that it's going to be 15 minutes and, people is asking questions to these people right now. And, maybe if they do like a little bio movie or something like that, they might reach out to some of these people. But I think after this is it. And I feel like this is why we see people just rehashing the same story and saying the same thing that the next person said, because I feel like some of them know that it's coming to a close. That's just my opinion personally. I feel like some of them know, some people may just want to tell their story, but you just see it's kind of like what happened with the Salem situation, where one person said something and then different stuff, everybody had a story about it. Like, it's bandwagony, and it's looking that way now. It's like, well, okay, if you don't have nothing new to say to this situation, why are we hearing from you? We already heard from you in the series previously. So it's like, I don't know. It kind of lends to the people's theory and their beliefs that it's a lot of clout chasing and stuff going on, especially because a lot of the backstories for a lot of these people is like, oh, I wanted to be, this, and I was a DJ, I was a backup dancer, I was this, I was that, and it was like they was looking to this man to give them a career or to make them great. But if you're looking at stuff on paper, like, who career did he really make great but his own? Honestly, I mean, he wrote for other people, but I mean, that's still, we could accredit that to him making himself great again, because it's like he would get credit for that or whatever. So it's like the last person that you probably seen that was I would say on the top fame wise was Aaliyah with the whole situation. So we have not seen nobody, honey, after that, and people were still trying to mess with this dude. I mean, the track record is like, but anywho, I mean, he did, like I said, he wrote for other people, but that's still him being accredited. So we looking at, everybody, I guess they felt like, oh, he was this genius, musical producer, songwriter, and everything, and all of that is good. But when it came to him, all of that is accredited to him. We didn't see him, make a whole bunch of people into no superstars. I'm just saying, like, where did that belief system come from? You feel what I'm saying? I think it was a certain naivete. People think that they're gonna latch on to a celeb, and the way that industry work is those people be handpicked and chosen to get on, okay? And people is at the levels that they at, and some people that they handpick to be at certain levels is at the levels that they at, and then people do what they got to do to get what they feel like they want. But anywho, it says we aren't living in the climate that we're in now, and that's what she told Dr. Oz of the relationship. She says was from 2011 to 2013, and then it also says it would have just looked funny to people because the narrative out there was always he's only attracted to young women. So I'm a grown woman, who's gonna believe me? So I had to make it work. But I don't necessarily believe that that's true. I believe that a lot of the women was around, that you would have older women around to distract from what you doing with other people, or to show younger folks the ropes. You feel what I'm saying? You might want a little mature seasoning to show somebody that maybe a youth the ropes. You feel what I'm saying? So we've heard the stories. But then again, also, I would believe it because the majority of those people that was at, those concerts he was doing, that was, from that era and that generation in that time period to the people, he was relevant to people today, but I'm saying he was really, really relevant to people's aunties, mamas, probably some grandmamas out there. And those is the people that will be at his concerts doing the most. I mean, y'all get what I'm saying. So I don't understand why she would say that was so far-fetched, because I would believe that. I believe that he would only probably have them around to do what he needed them to do also. Maybe a little mature seasoning, maybe to, a lot of times men who do certain stuff, they'll have an older woman around to make the younger woman feel safer, like a mother figure or an auntie figure or somebody like that. We've seen that time and time again. Men who be doing certain stuff, they'll have in the company of a woman that may be older to get the person to drop their guard. So we've seen that. So I don't know. I think a lot of people is sharing a lot of their story, and the more and more these people talk, I be looking with the side eye, like, I'm starting to look at stuff with the side eye, I am, like I said, sympathetic. Excuse me, y'all. I am sympathetic to a lot of stuff that some of these people deal with. But I feel like it's nothing wrong with asking questions also. Like, I believe that because of what happens to him, like she said, KJ said, that he could have recreated that lifestyle for himself because he didn't get help and had issues with that. I also feel like a lot of these people, turned a blind eye to this situation and wanted to be involved with him because they felt like even though he could have been a messed up individual and they knew his reputation, they still was willing to take that chance because they wanted celebrity and whatever they wanted from the situation. They wanted him to make them great, as some of them say. So, I could believe her when she say that people wouldn't necessarily have believed her. But I more so believe because he was, to some people, like I said, a musical genius, and they had whatever idea. Like, people that are fanatical, they tend to put people on a pedestal where they just are kind of naive to the fact that people could still be doing off activities. So that's just what I feel about that. Basically, also, the singer has previously, they say he basically denies these claims, and basically here is what a rep said when KJ originally spoke out in 2017. Any claim of wrongdoing of any kind, or they basically said that it was false, and it was ill motivated, and basically they said it was just false. So that's what back, when she said she originally spoke out, in 2017, that's what one of his reps said. Now it goes on to say that he now look at this. He famously flew into, a shouting match during that interview with Gayle. Now, I thought they was getting ready to say that he flew on a plane, because I'm like, Now, he been out here saying that he, has a fear of flying, but we done caught people saying plenty of times that this man has been on, airplanes and different stuff, but they talking about how he flew into a shouting match with on Gayle's interview, because I was getting ready to say he said on that interview that he flew in on a helicopter to give his ex-wife a puppy. So, sir, which is it? I thought they was talking about that, but anywho, they're going over that whole situation. But what are y'all's thoughts about KJ, his ex, saying that she thought people wouldn't believe her when she first came out because she's a bit older than some of the other young women he was with, and also that he tried to recreate what happened to him as a youth, with her, basically getting her to do certain stuff that she would feel uncomfortable with. My only question, though, y'all, is that a lot of people are saying, oh, I felt like this was uncomfortable, I felt like this was this. But my thing is, why did some of these people stay that long? Why do y'all think some of these people stayed that long? Do y'all feel like some of these people thought it would be benefits being in connection to a K? Leave your thoughts and comments about this down below. It's KingBritneyChanel. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be seeing y'all soon on the next video. Hey honeys, thank you for watching my video, and if you haven't, definitely make sure you check out my Teespring, KingBritneyChanel Couture, where you can find my latest merch. I upload a lot of new designs frequently, so definitely make sure you check it out. We have mugs, we have wall tapestries, canvas art, pillows, fleece blankets, apparel, and so much more. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video.